All right. And I think we are live. So, hey, everyone, how y'all doing again? Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me this afternoon. As normal, I appreciate y'all. I'm Otis Toussaint, and I've got a good show with you today. We've got comedian Bobby J. Comedian, aka Bobby J. Coleman, and you're going to enjoy the show today. So I hope you all stay with me and come on back. So, without further ado, I don't even want to talk too much during this one, man. I just want to go ahead and get the man on the screen. So, hope you all enjoy this one. Without further ado, let's add on Bobby J. What's good, Bobby? Damn, hold on. I muted you because I didn't want to have you take my shine. My bad, man. Say that again.
There we go. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Hey, man, thank you for coming on and just talking and sharing your story and everything like that with me, man. I look super red on the screen. I promise y'all I ain't got no heat rash or nothing. There's something up with the camera. I'm going to end up fixing that. What was that? Hold on. Let me change the camera because I'm feeling super red on this. It got me. Hold on. Let me fix this. I don't want to feel all crazy during my time. So let's start this camera back up. There you go. Nah, I look like a little alien now, man. I didn't want to do that. Let's put it back to the red, man. So, hey, man. I've known you on Facebook, social media now, damn near a decade, man. It's been a minute. I've never met you in real life, but I've chatted with you off and on throughout that entire time. And, I said, okay, I want to bring you on here and just talk and get to know who Bobby J is and get everyone get a chance to actually know who you are as well. So, tell me a little bit about your background, man. Where you come from and stuff like that. Talk to me.
All right. So, born and raised in Kansas City. I was born on the southern Twin Cities. You got Kansas and you got Missouri. I was born in Kansas City, Kansas, but I currently live in Kansas City, Missouri. And I went to school on both sides. Lived in LA for 30 years.
Hold on, Bobby. Man, your audio sucks, man. Your audio really sucks. Yeah, it sounds like you muffled, man. So how about this? Can you switch back to your phone real fast, man? The computer ain't rocking. I promise y'all we're not Teddy Riley in it. We actually had really good audio and video beforehand, but the audio is kind of muffled a little bit. So I wanted him to go ahead and do a quick switch with me. So give me a second while Bobby is fixing his thing. So I had a chance to talk to Bobby off and on Facebook for all these past few years. And we got a chance to just learn who he is and everything like that. And I said, okay, let's bring him on. So I wanted to get him on. So let's go ahead and add him real fast. Bam. Is that better? Let me hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, much better. All right. So talk to me, man. Give me your background, bro.
Let's try this. Let's see how this sounds.
Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfect.
Hold on, I didn't pick it up from here though.
You said it didn't pick up your hearing aid?
In my earphone.
Okay, I hear you perfect.
Like this, right?
Yeah, you good. You good right there. Talk to me, bro.
All right. Yes, sir. So, what was the question again?
I said, talk to us about your background, where you came from, your formative years. So your early years. Who was Bobby J? Talk to us.
Oh man, so my whole family is just a family of comedians, man. And I was the quiet one. So I was never the jokester or anything like that. Everybody else was, but I was the one that was just quiet and kind of paying attention to everybody else. So it naturally just came to me just out of the blue, man. When I started to try it out, but that's it's not too much of a real special story behind it. It's just got a crazy family, man. And then my comedy is about is a reflection of that.
So your comedy, you would say, is a reflection of real life, everyday life of your upbringing, who Bobby J is.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Nothing. A lot of these jokes may sound fabricated, but they be true, man.
So it's like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I experience. You got to just appreciate it for what it is.
Absolutely, man.
I got you. So, all right. So we got the family background. You went to college, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So I did 1 year at Mizzou.
Mm-hmm.
And then I transferred to Lincoln University, and that's where I finished up at.
Okay. So what did you study at Lincoln University?
Broadcast journalism, communications.
Which is something that I would say a comedian, an orator, someone who's on front of a stage should have those skill sets.
Absolutely. So the reason I did it because initially I was doing criminal justice.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a detective. That was my I went to police academy and I didn't like it.
What didn't you like about it?
So
Ready to connect another device.
The academy was filled with a bunch of
OTIS iPad Pro disconnected.
I'm getting feedback here.
You getting my feedback? My bad.
It's no, it's me.
Okay.
It's like repeating, but that's fine. I can get it. So the people there were a bunch of like security guards, grocery store rejects. So they were like gun happy, they were just ready to go out and do that.
Connected.
And I just didn't like the environment. I hated it, man.
So you didn't really enjoy seeing what you saw in the police academy that you tried. You went to college for a few years. So you're an educated man. You're a very smart man, I will admit. This is something that, and we spoke about this before too, where oftentimes comedians are the smartest in our society because they can take a very complex situation, something that has a lot of analysis, and they're able to break it down in the simplest of terms for people to understand and to consume.
Right.
But I would say, go ahead.
Yeah. I was like we were talking about. I was saying this is a gift and encouragement because when you see something normal, your brain automatically contorts it into something else, and you'll see. That's why they call it third eye and all this stuff. Like it's really like that, man. And sometimes I hate it because it alienates experiences for me.
Mm-hmm. In what way would you say it alienates experiences for you?
So when you do comedy, you, like I said, you see things differently, but it also puts you in the mindset of a writer because you're always writing. So something like in regards to entertainment or anything like that, I can't just sit back and enjoy it for what it is or see it for what it is. It's always something that my mind just twisted. So let's say if it's a brand new movie coming out, I would spend the whole 120 minutes trying to figure out what's happening next because it puts me in that mode of, like if I was the creator, I would have done this. So I can't just sit and watch movies and enjoy like I would like normal people.
I got you. So talk to us about, do you remember your first stand-up special or your first opportunity to get into comedy?
I remember every single show, man.
So give us a little bit about that background, your most renowned memories about that.
Yeah, so my first show, my origins in terms of just being comedic was more centered around me roasting people. Of course, I saw Comicview, Def Comedy Jam, things like that on TV, but I was always that roaster. I would talk, your mama jokes and just, look somebody up and down, and we just go back and forth. That was my thrill, was instant gratification. I just loved just doing that. So, what happened is when I was at Lincoln University, people assumed that I was a comedian because I hosted events, and the people that wanted me to host, they like I hosted step shows and concerts and stuff. They would see me roast all the time, and they automatically assume, hey, he got to be a comedian. So when I was on stage, it was no different because I'm making fun of people in the crowd. So one day they had a comedy competition at Lincoln U, and I was going through Scruggs. It was just one random evening. I'm going through Scruggs. I didn't even live on campus, but I just so happened to be walking through, probably going to steal some lunch or something. So I was walking through, and they had this sign-up sheet, and it was like maybe 20 people, or it was spaces for like 20 people on there, and I saw my name on there, and it was two other guys' names, and one of the guys was Alpha. I can't remember his name, and then Steven, he's is he an Alpha too?
Who is it?
What's his
Acumen?
last name? Steven. I can't.
No, you're here. You're still here.
You there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead. I hear you.
Can't hear you, brother.
Oh man.
You can hear me?
Ain't good. Yes.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Hold on. Let me fix this. We'll be back, y'all. Give it a second. All right, let's get this situated. Sometimes we have some technical difficulties that we try to fix, and
I can't hear you at all.
You hear me at all? Give me a second. Let's start it over.
No problemo. I can't sign language, man.
Give me a second. How about now?
Okay.
Do you hear me now?
Let's see if this works.
Do you hear me now?
Oh man. Okay. How? Hold on. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is there any feedback?
No.
Okay. You know what? This is. All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm getting some feedback on mine and yours, but that's unless you mute your side. Okay, can you hear me? Cool. All right, so we'll just click it back on and off when we do that. So it was a talent show. So somebody signed me up. I still to this day have no clue who this person is that signed my name on there, but I took the challenge. So it was a prize of $250. And so when you was there, of course, Miss Linda was there. She was the Dawson Hall residential advisor. And then Miss Pat in the cafeteria. You remember Miss Pat, right? Okay, so I knew that I had to, because I didn't really have jokes, but I had a little bit of stuff that I needed to write. So I wrote down a couple jokes, and now this is one thing I can't remember, But I did some cool school jokes. I talked about did y'all have Dick Dalton? Well, of course Dick Dalton was there. I made a joke about him. I made a joke about growing up poor. And then I made a joke about Miss Pat. And that was my ending joke. And I knew the joke was going to kill. So I was like, I pulled a joke out and I got a standing O, man. It was rumbling in there like thunder, man. And it killed. And I won it. It was like a $250 prize. So during that was homecoming week. During that week or that event, Joe Torre was in the crowd. He was sitting up front and he saw me coming out and he grabbed me up and he was like, man, you kind of funny, bro. He's like, you want to get down with the big dogs or whatever? And I was like, cool. He was like, we got a comedy show this weekend for the homecoming comedy show. He's like, you can do some time. So I did some time. It was him, Kenny Howell, Arvin Mitchell, and Steve Brown. And I went up and did like another 7-8 minutes, killed it. And Arvin and him was like, because they from St. Louis, and they was like, bro, you need to take this serious. If you want to do this, we can put you in touch with some people. So I'm like, cool. So he was like, here's the info down in St. Louis. LU was closer to St. Louis than it was Kansas City. So for a whole 6-7 months, every Wednesday after I got out of class, I'm driving down to St. Louis to do the open mics. Not even open mics. It was this club called Two Brothers. They had actual like BET comedians and Def Comedy Jam comedians. So they would let me come in and do 10 minutes. So I hadn't even done open mics. I didn't know the structure, but I learned later that most comics rise through the ranks through the open mics. So I'm getting in front of veteran comics that are giving me the game like early. So I was going down there, they'll give me $50. So, that back in 2004, that's gas money and, money to eat on for the week. So I'm doing this every week. And then I start opening up, like I opened up for Bruce and then Bill Bellamy. It started taking off from there. And then Cat Williams, he came to Columbia to Deja Vu. And I was determined to get on that because that was after Friday After Next came out. And he gave me an opportunity to get on stage, and then I, got cool with him. And from there, everything just took off, man. That's how it started, bro. Uh-oh, you got to unmute.
All right, I think it's going to be better, way better now.
Okay, let me check.
Do you hear me? There's no echo or anything. We good, right?
We good.
All right, good. So
yeah,
you tell the story of someone who had his break from college, and through networking and through mentorship, you're at to the point where you're at right now. What would you say, as far as people that you've brought up yourself? So you had the opportunity to get on the stepping stools and opportunities to work with people that are leaders in your industry. What have you done personally as far as helping others to come up in the industry also?
So the biggest thing for me, because I learned to basically lower the ladder down for the next person. Leave it better than how you found it. I haven't really been on any major, like I've been on Comicview and Who's Got Jokes, stuff like that. But my opportunities for other people, when I got opportunities, let's say I do Bobby J and Friends. That's a comedy show at the Improv. This is in front of 400 people. Sometimes it'll be 2 shows. This is the premier comedy club in the world. I have an in with the Improv. It's been 11 years since I've really been in with the Improv. A lot of comics can't get in there. So this isn't me taking credit for him, but Lil Rel, who's been on Get Out, stuff like that, and everybody knows him. I booked him for $200 back in 2010, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, and I see people and I'm be like, man, these people should be further than where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm giving people these opportunities. So you get comics that all over the country, I've given them an opportunity to. So I have my name. I have my name already.
Mm-hmm.
But when I come out for Bobby J and Friends, people expect me to be the headliner. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving them an opportunity to headline. So I come out and host the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I give them their time to spotlight, and they're actually headlining at a club. And then in turn, the club will say, man, we like what you did. We're going to book you. So now they're getting booked directly through the club.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot hoard opportunities and information. I just can't. I have to give this opportunity to other people. Even when I worked out a distribution deal for comedians solely through a company called Easy Disc. This was back when selling DVDs was the thing, you know. Yeah. And I shot a special called Good in the Hood. It was a comedy special. And they worked it out where you can get professionally pressed, wrap, everything, DVDs. They were $1 each. And I was sharing this with all comedians because when comedians book shows, on average, a one-nighter might be like $500.
Mm-hmm.
After the show is where you make extra money. So you got your merchandise. So if you think about what other companies were charging to print up one DVD, you're talking about $350 each.
Wow.
So you can literally through Easy Disc at the time, you could get 100 for $100. Mm-hmm. And then you sell them for $10 each or 12 or whatever you want. People buy them for 15. There you go. In one night, you can make extra $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
So you would say your business acumen is definitely one of the things that you're proud of. It's one of the things that you really kind of perfected over the years.
It's never been about me, man. It's been about the entire craft. You know, I have to lend something to it because it's giving me a lot. You know, so I would definitely say that's something like I'm giving people opportunities that will never. I mean, when they get these opportunities, that's what's got me tight with so many comedians because they know how I am. I'm not somebody that if I'm on tour with somebody and I get to their city, I'm like, let's say my own shows. If I'm going to the Denver Improv or something, I go and look online for who's their hottest local, who's y'all dopest comic in the city. Tell them come through and put some money in his pocket, give him some time. Boom, that's an opportunity there. Or if I'm opening up, I was on tour with Rickey, Smiley is on tour with Sommore. Hey, such and such is from here. Can give them 5-6 minutes. Cool. You know, like that's always been me. I'm always reaching out because I know how it feels to be cool or think you cool with some people. And then when they get an opportunity, they don't answer the phone. They don't, and you know, and I don't want to block somebody else's blessing or the opportunities. You know, don't risk what you got to give me a shot, you know. But it's been times where, you know, I'll be like, oh man, see if old boy give me some time on the show or whatever, and I don't hear from them. Their phone ain't working, and I'm like, come on, you know. But the thing is, I've worked with Kat, I've worked with Kevin, I've worked with these top comedians. They treat you better than those mid-range ones because, and it's weird. It's a weird dynamic.
I'll tell you why. What my theory is, and then you tell me if I'm close to it.
Yeah.
If they've reached a certain success, there's no pressure to claw and scratch your way on up if you're already up there. But if you're in the middle, it's I need to keep you down so I can get up there as well, you know?
That is, I would say that's it. I wish I could tap into that, but I'm always about opportunities. If I can get you on the show, I will get you in the show. You're not going to stand outside and you're a part of our fraternity. You know, I'm all over the place and I'm making sure people are taken care of. So at least they'll get that. I try. But when those comics do that, I bet I can guarantee you that's it because some comics see other people's opportunities. They think that they should have had that. Like, when I was on tour with Rickey Smiley and I overheard, I was going down the hallway at this arena and I heard one of the comedians, and comedians are very, very bitter, man. Like, I don't even know why I'm so cool with
as many as I am, but they are very bitter.
Mm-hmm.
But and I heard him say, "Why he got him on the show?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "What?" Like, and he didn't know I heard him, but but I've been knowing this dude. I done put him on shows before, and then I get an opportunity, a grand opportunity, and then I hear you, like, shooting me down. Why he put him on the show, on the tour?
Mm-hmm.
Like and that's the thing with comics. So comics are very sour, man.
I think people in general are sour. People could be working in the same industry with you, but if they see, if one person sees you shine, they gotta get some of that sun that's coming on them, and they're going to try their best to block you from getting your sun.
Yeah,
that's this natural human echo. What you call it? Ego? I said echo. Ego.
True. No, you're right. For me, if I see somebody get an opportunity, I am so happy for them because that means that it lends itself to the game regardless because it's keeping the game alive.
Yes.
Comedy has reached a weird dynamic where you get people that just are funny in increments on social media, and then they are thrown in our platform, and then they come and stink it up. And then people like me, who I can stand up there for a whole hour and keep you laughing this whole time and have fun with you and all this, and after the show we can kick it. And I won't get that opportunity because it's about popularity. But even for them, I'm like, man, that's dope. That's good because eventually I'm going to work with them. I've worked with the internet people, Country Wayne and people like that. So it all comes back full circle. But when I talk to them, they already know who I am. And that's the crazy part because it's like I'm an OG to them.
Yeah.
So we sit and we talk and we have these conversations and they like, man, I want to get better. DC Young Fly. I worked with him 1 year and then I worked with him another year. And we had 2 different conversations because he was improving. He was figuring the game out.
Yeah.
But then he got better over that year. And then we had a whole different conversation like, bro, you doing your thing. You're learning this game because it's so much to comedy that you got to learn the mechanics of it. And right now,
what are the mechanics? Talk to us. What do you mean by the mechanics?
So with comedy, it's more than if you don't know the mechanics, you'll get burnt out. And I'll break it down to you. If you don't know how to set up a joke or fill out the crowd, an hour is a long time. Imagine your favorite movie, an hour of it is a long time. Now imagine talking that whole time and keeping people engaged. So the mechanics include you bringing in the crowd, making them feel like you've never told this joke before, but it's new to them. So you mess with the crowd. You get to learn the crowd. You know how to set up the joke, the premise, and then you hit them with the punchline. And then not only do you hit them with the punchline, you might have talked about somebody earlier that you put them back in this punchline. That's called a callback. I see these comics or these social media entertainers that are on our platform that get out here and they just spitting out everything, and then before you know it, 10 minutes later they out of jokes because they didn't pace themselves. And I'm telling you, it's so much to it. So when I get up there, like openers usually move faster because their time is shorter. For me, if I'm opening, so let's say Kev on stage. Everybody know Kev on stage. Kevin Stage. I was just working with him a little over a month ago. We did 5 or 6 shows, and the first show, he hadn't worked with me in maybe 7 or 8 years since the first time we worked out in Seattle. So he said, "Man, you went out there and you sat down on the stool and you felt the crowd out, and then you started your set. I don't care if I'm doing 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm going to pace myself and get the bang for my buck because it's a way to set it up and a way to do it where you're confident and people believe in you and they get lost in it and they don't know, man, that was a quick 6 minutes.
some psychology going on, you'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. I learned when I tell you I study the crowd. I'm sitting in there and I'm watching everybody get seated. I'm sitting in a corner. I'm watching everybody get seated. I'm watching to see who they laughing at, what they not laughing at, who's getting ticked off because the comedians are picking on them or whatever. And my thing is, it happens a lot because when comics run dry, they start roasting on the crowd or whatever. So for me, I will pick on that person again, but I know how to bring it to the good because sometimes it's like always that one token white couple up front, black show, and everybody hit on them.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I ain't gonna mess with y'all today. I know they didn't mess with y'all. And then they be like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, I'm lying like a mug. And then they start laughing. I do stuff like I'll buy them a drink or whatever, and I'll make it fun because some comics don't know how to have fun. If a crowd, if you got a person heckling you, you got to know how to make it fun. And I've never, like, I see comics get mad, like they get real angry and frustrated because somebody's heckling, and I'm like, no, you got to learn to fight through that, you know?
You mentioned two things. I got a funny story to tell you about the second thing. The first thing is you mentioned that Steve Brown. Is it Steve Brown you said?
Yeah.
Isn't he the guy with the high pitched voice and all of that? Wasn't he in a situation where someone got super mad? Matter of fact, let's go ahead and bring that up. But someone got super mad with Steve Brown and chased this dude across the stage. You know, I think they threw things at him. Let's go ahead and hold on. Let me pause for the cause real fast and let's bring that in because that was absolutely insane when I saw that. It was like wait, hold on, what's going on? So let's go back to Steve Brown. Let me see. Do you hear this?
Yeah, it looks like it's after the fight.
Oh my God. It was like, wait, hold on. Why is Steve Brown squaring up? Oh. And they thought it was like a skit or something. Nah, that ain't no skit. That's real.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it was like, okay, you know, I understand that we may get upset, but you should never take it that far where you're swinging and wanted to physically hurt somebody like that.
Right.
You know, it's just absolutely uncalled for. The second story. Wait, first of all, before me going into the second one, have you ever been in anything even close to something like that?
Nah, never. Never.
Oh my God. How would you handle that if you ever got into something like that?
Okay, so I won't say I've never been in a situation like that, but it's come close to, and I'll tell you why, because of the environment. So being a comedian, a lot of dope boys love to throw comedy shows.
Yes.
So I've been brought to Dallas, North Dallas, where else? Indiana, like places like that where they got that one dope boy there, and they love to throw comedy shows for some reason. I remember this dude. I was in South Bend, Indiana, and he brought me and a couple other comedians there. And it wasn't nothing but his dope boy people. And then, of course, the crowd that comes and they rowdy as heck. And he had his dope boys up front. And I'm just like, you know, I'm doing my jokes. And then I start poking at them. And they just was like, you know, you can just tell it was getting tense. They don't, you know, who sits around and roast on a dope boy, you know? So I'm used to, you know, all my people, they just like that. So, but it's got to the point where when I do those, I still do them, you know, I turn them in, but I know how to make it lighthearted. I know how to make it fun where when you do these shows and you have, you know, that you have that dialogue with those people, sometimes they want to be cracked on, But sometimes they just, they just want to be a part of the joke. So I have jokes where I'll be like, bro, what's your name? And I'll talk to them beginning of the show. In my closing joke, I'll put them in the closing joke and be like, yeah, I was with Marco right there, whatever. I'll point them out. And then they'd be like, ooh, because some of my jokes I can cater to the city that I'm in.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, yeah, I was with him over here. And I'll twist the strip club up and to their local strip club and then put the dope boy in it or whatever. And then they rolling like, you know what I'm saying? It's a good skill to do that, but I can weasel my way out of it, man. These jokes have got me out of some fights, so it is what it is.
I bet you, man. So the second thing is the second story. The second part was, so my wife a couple years ago took me to a comedy show. I don't know what city. I think it was Nashville, and I guess one of the untold rules are, you've got to show up. If you're going to go to a comedy show where seating is open, show up, but don't come next to the stage. Show up early so you could be away from the stage so that the comedian won't F with you.
Yeah.
We showed up late. We showed up late. We were right in the front. Right in the front, dog. And I was thinking, okay, I'm going to sit down and just, enjoy myself. And I'm a big dude, right?
Yeah.
And so I stick out. And who was the comedian that night but Lil Duval?
Oh, man.
And Lil Duval saw me. And look, I got a big head, right? I will admit, I got a big head.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And so Lil Duval saw me and I was like, oh my God. And this dude was roasting me. And I was like, oh shit. I did not want this attention to come my way. So I had to keep taking it. I was thinking to myself, man, as soon as this show is done, I'm gonna go up on stage and fuck this little dude up. I'm not taking this anymore. Man. I was crying on the inside, like, man, my chest is burning. Why is this dude doing this?
And he wouldn't stop, would he?
And he wouldn't stop, but he stopped after about 3 jokes.
Yeah.
The crowd, the couple that was next to us, I didn't know them from Jack. They seemed nice in the beginning, but they were like, oh, laughing at me. Yeah. Then my wife felt bad afterwards. She was like, oh, baby, I didn't know this was, it is what it is. I took it in stride and I go with it. But have you ever run into a situation where you've picked on some folks and they felt like, I mean, you told a story of you may buy a drink or something like that to the white couple that you pick on, but you ever had someone after the show was like, hey man, that hurt, man. That was embarrassing, man. I didn't like that.
Yeah, no. So the only time, because mine usually end good. But when somebody comes in late, I do light into them. But I can't leave it. I never leave anything tense. It's hard to offend me. It's hard to get me upset on stuff like that. So, but it was the college that I did. It was Arkansas State University. And it was this dude in there. He was real, real dark. And it was like in a ballroom. So he was real dark. And then when I pointed him out, I told him, I was like, look at this dude, he's black. And college students love for you to roast him. And I was like, I said he was blink black, like when you blink and your eyes are black. So, I think about this all the time because I felt bad. And then he smiled and he had these long teeth. And when I tell you, I went in on his teeth for probably,
oh my God,
10 minutes.
Oh my God, man.
10 minutes. I stood there and went in on this dude's teeth. I said his teeth was long like a CVS receipt. His teeth look like baby shoes. When I tell you, the crowd was weak. People was running out the door. I seen students get up and run. The reason it sits with me so much because I still feel bad about it. Because
I don't know, maybe I took a shot before that, a couple shots, because usually that come.
And that makes you loose. That makes you way more. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know what I was going through, but when I lit into this dude, and I don't know where he's at, but if I saw the dude, he probably want to beat me up because he just looked, he laughed and laughed, and then he just got deflated, man, because college students, it's a layer of ignorance with college shows. And the students just want to see somebody get roasted on. Nope, you know what? Grand Valley State University. This girl quit school. Yep. I forgot about this. This
She
girl
quit school because of the jokes?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. The school reached out to me. I'm banned from Grand Valley State University. Yes, bro. And then I need to Google GVSU on my old Twitter handle because I had Bobby J Comedy before I changed it to Bobby J Online. But but it was this girl, and I went in on her because the students let me in on the fact that she was promiscuous around the campus or whatever. And I just ran with it, man. And the girl left school.
Oh
the school reached out to me. But yeah, I'm still banned from there, man.
Jesus.
Yep.
So let's go ahead. I know you mentioned Bobby J Online. So we've got we're gonna do a quick session. It's called What's on Your Social Media. So let's go ahead and jump into that real fast. We're gonna go and check out your Instagram, and so we're gonna bring up random pictures, and then you just tell us the backstory about what we see here. Okay? So
I know everything I do. Some girl saw me at the grocery store about a couple hours ago, and she came up to me and she was like telling her friend, "Girl, you better put your mask on. Bobby gonna roast you or whatever." And she was like, "Bobby, you had this one joke that I remember." And she just barely talked about it, but I can remember everything that I said. And I said, "Just tell me how it starts." And she said, "It's something about you ironing in the morning." I said, ironing with butt naked in a steam kitchen. She's like, "Yeah, that's it." Like, it was like 6 years ago. So I remember everything, man.
I'll tell you, there was this one joke that stood out to me that I remember you told once before, where it was you get I think it was fruit punch or something like that, and you call it
that's Juicy Juice and Ciroc called Wick on the Beach. So Wick vouchers you can get Juicy Juice from it. So the joke goes, the actual stage joke was, I went over this hood chick house and she was having a wine, like a liquor tasting event, and she was making ghetto drinks, and she made Juicy Juice and Ciroc. I was like, "What's this, the Wick on the Beach?" And she gave me a Pedialyte and Patron, and what was the other one? I don't do it anymore because some comedian stole it, but
you said Pedialyte and Patron.
Yeah, so I was like, you can't get a hangover because your electrolytes it was something, man. I can't remember it all the way.
Oh my God. Hold on. So let's go into this section. What's on your Instagram, right? So hold on. There was this picture that I saw earlier, and here shout out to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What's the story behind this picture, man?
So I was in Bend, Oregon. What was the spot I was at there? It probably is like the next picture or something, but that's the last Blockbuster. So it was the other Blockbuster closed. It was in Alaska, and then it eventually closed. So this Blockbuster is in Bend, Oregon, and I had to stop in and get me a T-shirt and a Blockbuster card, man. So yeah.
Shout out to Blockbuster. Oh my goodness. I know. I'm going to bring up another picture. It's one of the targets. Derek Jackson. I call him almost like your nemesis, man.
Yeah.
Talk to us about this shirt, man. Oh my goodness, man. Hilarious.
Let's see. Why don't broke women realize their soulmate is a broke man? So we all know Derek Jackson. Derek blocked me on everything, so I'm gonna get him again. I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna be. I don't know if I should tell you because it'll ruin it. But anyway, Derek Jackson, people, because for me, when I give relationship advice, I want to give you advice to where you don't come back and ask me for more advice. You either it's gonna stab you in the heart, or it's gonna be enough to make you be like, man, I need to get my life together. So people started tagging me in this dude, and they're like, look at this simp. And I was like, what? You know, so I watched the video, and I was like, all his videos are dogging men. Now, I'm okay with relationship advice, but Derek Jackson's relationship advice it's a really big imbalance with it, because he'll make the average 9-to-5 dude seem inadequate when it comes to dating, because his standards for men that women should expect are just it's outrageous. This internet stuff does not relate to real life, you know. It's just so when he gets on there talking. So one day I was looking at So 3 years ago, I made the first video. This is the second one. So about 2.5 years ago. So one day I was working in the yard and I had a ball cap on. And I never wear caps. I've never worn hats in my life. So I was driving to like the gas station or something, and I looked in the mirror and I said, I look like this fool Derek Jackson. Yeah. So probably a week later, same week, it was the same week. I was like, I'm about to make a video imitating him. So I started to learn his mannerisms, and then I made, so this is the second one, but the other shirts had like pander, like, you know, you
the pander, yes.
Just stuff like that. So I just switched shirts. So every time I would say something like, what up, Team Jackson? And then I would switch the shirt, and then it would just be something crazy. And it went viral. Like, it went crazy. So people were tagging him, and then he blocked me. And then shortly after that, he took some shots at me, but he never mentioned it because that was the first viral shot at him. And he was like, all these people hating on me and all this stuff, and Oprah showed me love and all this. I'm like, Oprah ain't showed you no love.
Oprah showed him love? Get out of here, man.
That's what he says. But so that went on for a long time. Then I had intentions of doing more because I really wanted to drill the point home that, dude, you can give your advice, but why do you have to bring us down? Why do you have to drag us down with us, you know? So, again, he blocked me on everything, and I can see his Facebook post, but I can't like comment or anything. It's just, I'm blocked everywhere else. So
I remember you created a video where he had no legs in his video, in your video. Yeah. It was crazy. What was that all about, man? That was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, so because he sits in his car all the time. So I'm like, we don't know if he got legs or what, man. Like, we don't know. So I said, when I did this was a part of the video. I think, was it? No, is that the third one?
Hold on, let's check it out. Let's go ahead and play it and see what it's all about.
What up, Team Jackson? It's your favorite car counselor, Dirty Mac.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Derek Bashing, a.k.a. Jaw Jack and Jackson, a.k.a. the parking lot pastor. I'm sick of people saying Derek Jackson's a male basher. Derek Jackson hates men. Where's Derek Jackson legs at? Where's Derek Jackson's wife since he knows so? First off,
crazy. Let's go into. Let's go into. I saw one more photo. This was the photo that I remember of you right here. This looks like some humble beginnings photo. Tell us a little bit about this photo here.
Yeah, so I was 26 in that picture. I just came to Kansas City. Just graduated. So that was about a year and a half later. I started college, Lincoln U later, but it was
Same here.
yeah. So, um, but my friend Leanna Joyce, she was a photographer. She was just getting her legs, up under her in terms of photography. And she was like, "Yeah, I want to do some pictures with you." And she did that. And I remember posting that because I think the caption had something to do with like, what it said. I don't know.
The caption says, "For Old Head Shot Day, I nominate this photo. I look like a member of After Seven at the Ready or Not video shoot. Couldn't tell me shit for MySpace. I had 3,500 friends and swore I made it. I was probably 25 in this pic. Yep.
Yeah.
I got you. Then there was one. Oh, I recognize some of these folks here. Mr. Michael Blackson.
And that's so that's Dick Gregory's nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing weekend, man. It's weird looking at these because I never go back through them, but I can just remember the energy from that weekend, man. Oh my God, that was crazy.
I actually met that comedian, Dick Gregory's nephew. We met, my wife and I, we met him in Germany. He came over to entertain the troops.
He tried to get me to do that.
Man, you should have, bro. You had a good time.
I was already booked up. I think I had a cruise. Yeah, I remember that. He tried to get me on that one, man. Yeah,
we had a good time. After that. Let's go ahead and I'll slow down the screen sharing. So, Bobby, I really appreciate, you just talking and sharing some good memories with us. We got a few comments coming in from people who've been checking out the show. So let's go ahead and put some of the comments on. We got a lot of echo comments. Yeah, we fixed the audio, y'all. We fixed it. Yeah. My bad. We good now. Let's see. So we got Santino. What's going on, Tino? He said, "Oh, we live."
Ask Bobby if he even listened to my mixtape.
Hey, shout out to Santino, man. Good dude.
Here's the thing, man. Santino funny as heck. The thing with me is if anybody's ever after a show giving me a mixtape or anything, I've always listened to them. I always do. So if
really?
Why
do you always listen to them?
When I see them, I see myself. I know what it feels like to be on that side door waiting on it to open up to hopefully slide in or meet whoever, and I know he was joking about the mixtape, but I started doing music. I used to be on tour with Tech Nine.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
When I was in Lincoln, I got him to come up to Lincoln. Him and Lil Jon was there. And 3-6 Mafia.
What?
This was the beginning, man. When Tech first started. Well, not when he first started out, but when he first dropped Angelic and Absolute Power. Those between Angelic, Absolute Power, and Ever Ready, I was still at Lincoln U. So, but he got me into doing music. I used to live around the corner from him, so I've been knowing him for a long time. But I got into music early, man, and this is why I really stuck with comedy. Because when I was on campus at Lincoln U, somebody stole my backpack and had all my music in it, and I didn't want to start over. Because then you had ADATs and you just had things like on jump drives and stuff like that. Like stole that backpack. And I never did that. That was it, man. I didn't want to write anymore.
Jesus. We got some more comments coming in. We got one from Star. What's good, Star? She said, Otis and Bobby, you all put on a good show. Hey, thank you, Star. Appreciate you. I went to Lincoln with her also. She's a good lady. Poet and all that stuff.
Where's she from?
I think she's from Chicago. I think Star's from Chicago.
I was just
we got Stephen Grays.
He was on the show with us on my very first comedy show. I couldn't remember your last name, Steve, my bro. It was him and then another guy. He was an alpha. Steve, what's the other guy's name, man? I can't remember his name. And I seen him in a picture with a couple people, a couple alphas.
Heavyset is a heavyset guy. Terry?
No, it ain't Terry. It ain't Terry. He was in a picture with Ron from Denver.
He said me. Hold on. He did a follow up.
Earl Dockett. Yeah. Earl Dockett. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they did their thing, man. I had to pull that Miss Pat joke out though.
We got a good question coming in. What's going on, Wes? That's Lynn West. I was active duty with this good dude right here, man. He said, I've heard many comedians complain about doing college comedy shows. Like this new generation can't take a joke. Have you experienced that? Yeah, I think we spoke about that earlier, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
But have you any other situations?
Since I started in colleges is probably the only reason that I can do that. Because every comedian that I run into, they hate doing colleges. Because first off, college students don't have any life experiences really. So when we come up there talking about marriage or things like that, it doesn't work. You literally have to abandon your set. And like me, 40 years old, the students don't necessarily know I'm 40 because when I go up there, I relate to them. They would think I just got out of college 5 years ago because the jokes that I'll tell about eating in the cafeteria, your roommate eating your oatmeal cream pies and your ramen noodles up, and you come back from the weekend and they got on your clothes, or you know what I'm saying, like you just stuff like that. So most comics didn't come up in the college ranks, so that's the biggest part. And number two is college faculty want us to be clean sometimes. And they got to understand we're not honing our chops clean. We're out in these smoky bars or these, whatever, where you cussing and you doing whatever because you doing a show, some old man next to you throwing darts and stuff and drinking beer and people cussing at the pool table. How do you get their attention? So then when you get the opportunity to the college show, how am I going to keep these kids' attention? So I already relate to them. So for me, it works. But with a lot of comedians, a college show, they might do one a year. It was a point where I was doing 15, 20 colleges a year, and that was all I did. So it's different for me because I started in college. And then I understand it's a layer of ignorance, again, that college students have because college students want to be a part of the show. So you never see that outside of colleges. So it's real hard to do colleges, man. And I have a huge respect for comedians that can actually do them.
Doing the college tour. Tour. Oh, Steven added on one more comment. He said, I was winning until the Miss Pat. I got to hear, what's this Miss Pat joke? I want to hear this Miss Pat joke.
Man, when I tell you, I probably got the tape somewhere. It's like a grainy VHS tape somewhere.
I got you.
It had to do with so I can't tell the joke, but I'm going to give you the gist of what the joke was about. So, and also during that set, I had a Kool-Aid jar with rhinestones on it because that was the pimp cup era. Like little guy. So that was my pimp cup with Miracle Whip. I rhinestoned it out. So I had that in my hand as like a gimmick too. But I said I was at a party at like the Kappa House. And the Kappa House used to be right by the radio station. Yeah. So it was dark. And then I was like, this girl whispered in my ear or something. And, oh man, something about we went to the back room or something and she didn't have no teeth and I cut on the light. I said the head was something, and I cut on the light. I'm like, Miss Pat. But that one took it, man. I was like, Miss Pat, and everybody was like, yo, I'm telling you, we was in the auditorium. Was that Richard? Yeah, Richard. We was in the auditorium, and it just went crazy, man. And I think I sat my pimp cup down and just walked off the stage, man.
Oh, my God. Well, Bobby, I really appreciate, you taking the time just, bringing back some really good memories of Lincoln. Just a lot of good stories, a lot of good memories that I'm sure you've conjured up for a lot of us. And, in parting, do you have anything that you got going on right now that you want to share to the folks? I know we've got your social media handle on the bottom, but what you got going on?
Right now, just a lot of writing, man. I'm writing some scripts. I'm getting into directing, man. I really want to just do everything, but like I want to do it like Tyler Perry, but not without the bad wigs and stuff like that. So, I've been investing in camera equipment and writing scripts. I have a few that are just good. It's just written out very good. The storylines are good. The ideas of it is good. And when you see it, you're not gonna be like, man, I don't want to watch. This is one of them Master P type movies. No, I really have some stuff that I want to put out. So I'm trying to get my films in the film festivals, and then get the trust of the industry to see that, okay, this dude's a writer. We want to utilize him to write movies, because a lot of movies leave us hanging at the end, or you go through Netflix, we paying all this money, and you be like, it ain't nothing to watch, and it's 400,000 movies on there. Or you start watching it, and then it gets stupid,
Yeah.
So I think I have a few ideas that I think are going to be dope. So now I was supposed to start shooting last month, but COVID messed some things up. So once it gives me more time to really get prepared to do that, and just location scouting, and then casting and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, Bobby, just shout out to you. We really appreciate you coming on here and just talking to us. You got 2 more comments, and then we're going to call it a show. So we got from Steven. He said, bro, you slayed this with that, with the Miss Pat joke. And Star, what's going on, Star? She said, I think I actually remember that joke going around campus about Mrs. Pat. Hey, man. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Mrs. Pat. Shout out to everybody at the Lincoln University family. Miss y'all. Hope everything is going well. But Bobby, salute to you. I appreciate you coming out, man.
Thank you, Otis. Salute to everybody at Lincoln U. Y'all didn't know I was the mascot that whole time, so I was the coolest mascot Lincoln ever had and never will have. So anybody coming up after me, they can get it.
Yeah. Hey, as obviously on the Twitter handle and the Instagram handle, y'all check out Bobby J online. Check him out, Bobby J online. Absolutely hilarious dude. Really appreciate you coming out and just talking to us, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate the opportunity, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, brother.
All right, so we got another one down. Bobby was dope. Really appreciated coming and talking to us. And as I always say in parting, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and take care of others. Peace.